every time a frame bag appears in one of our videos, there's always that question: do you use any kind of protection? And of course I use protection. I don't pay a bunch of extra to get this kind of paint that I want and then have my bags messed up on the first ride. And I know there's a lot of bag manufacturers out there that claim they're very gentle to paint and stuff like that, but it will wear on your paint no matter what you do. So that's why we use some kind of frame protection. Now, I'm definitely not an expert when it comes to this. There's 100 million videos out on this, so this is kind of redundant, but I guess asked this much so often, I thought it was time to, take care of this once and for all. And I'll just show you what I'm using currently, how I apply it, which I don't recommend you should follow. I will also do a proper application process that I would recommend you do instead. But I will explain all of that once we get inside, which we should do right about now.
Okay, first, what tape do I use? Well, currently I'm using 3M 331 surface protective tape. This is relatively cheap stuff, 10 centimeters by 10 meters for about 13 bucks converted. This tape is rather thin and has the weakest adhesive of all tapes I used in the past, which is good for me since I remove the tape when I don't use bags. I wouldn't use this as a long-term solution though. It doesn't have a backing tape either, so it's not the best if you really want to pre-cut your tape before applying it to the frame. In terms of other things, what I actually use is something to clean the frame, alcohol wipes, a microfiber cloth, and a pair of scissors. I'd say this is the bare minimum. For a proper application, which I'll also attempt, add some water and a drop of detergent in a spray bottle and a soft edge squeegee. So this is usually what happens. I'm about to head out for a ride. I realize I need the frame bag for whatever reason. Then I realize I need to slap on some protective tape last minute, and I kinda do the following that I don't really recommend, but just to show how it usually goes down. I make sure the area on the frame is nice and clean, and then I simply slap on a strip of tape on every strap point on the frame, as well as any spots that I see the bag could cause some rubbing. Although I try to apply it as neat as possible, with this tape it's extremely hard to do a neat dry application without ending up with a lot of air bubbles. And as you can see, this results in this rather unsightly tape job. I imagine car wrapping companies are lining up to hire me. But honestly, this does the basic job of protecting the frame from bag rub for 1 or 2 rides when I have the bag on. The tape will be peeled off in time for the next bike wash anyway. So I imagine you're pretty disappointed with that. So to avoid answering too many complaints, I will do a proper application from here on out. So again, making sure that area is nice and clean, using alcohol wipes and a microfiber cloth. Next, I'm wetting the area with the spray bottle, and again, just water and 1 drop of detergent. Since this tape doesn't have any backing tape, I found it's easier to just pull a section from the roll like this and start putting it down on the top of the frame. Thanks to the soapy water, it can slide around a bit, so it's easy to adjust the length, and then I simply cut the tape in place. I use the squeegee to work the tape around the top tube, pressing out the water and hopefully any air bubbles from underneath the tape. I'll spray some more water and trim the tape again if needed, but I'm not too worried if it overlaps on the underside, just some extra protection from the bag there. The more effort you put in with the squeegee, the better result you get. But again, this is not a permanent protection in my case. If you're applying it long term, besides maybe using a different tape, I would really put an effort in squeezing out any bubbles. Straps will eventually wear through the tape, but it happens a lot faster if there's a lot of air bubbles underneath. So why not just leave this on, you say? Well, I don't actually ride with a frame bag very often. Bike packing happens maybe 2 times per year max, the last few years at least. And the other time is when I need to bring some more camera gear. I don't like to have tape when I don't need it. You can think of it as, would I like to have a piece of tape on the hood of my new sports car. I obviously don't have a sports car, or any car for that matter, but maybe you get my point. I want to see my bike in all its sparkling glory. If you don't mind having tape on all the time, that's totally fine, whatever floats your boat. But in either case, keep an eye on that tape. If you use bags a lot, it will wear through the tape eventually. Last note, this tape is not very stretchy, so when it comes to areas like this, at the head tube, down tube bend, I had to be a bit creative with the scissors. I also will say this 3M331 tape is probably not the best tape for matte paint. I can say that just by trying to use this on the handlebar, it doesn't stick good at all to the matte surface compared to the glossy bits. So matte surfaces, I would definitely recommend something with a stronger adhesive. Yeah.
So now you know I use frame protection in some kind of fashion. If you have a matte finish on your bike and you have some nice protection, feel free to drop a comment below. I know there will probably be a lot of people wondering what to use for a matte frame. Like I said, the ones I use now is definitely not optimal for matte finishes. Anyway, that's it for now. Hope that helped someone. And now you know, always protect yourself. Peace. So let's sneak in a little sneaky descent. See how this thing works. POV style. Little bit unsure of how this road is. Oh. Ah, wasn't only downhill. Oh, there's a lot more climbing than I thought. Little bit of moss on the roads, always scary. Yeah. Too chicken to push it there. God, I love those mirrors. With those mirrors, you can kind of keep your safety margins a bit wider. And it was much more up down than I remember. Yeah. Cleats clicking. Ooh. Oh, nice light. Be careful of those water thingamajigs across the roads. Oh, man, I don't remember this road at all.